Big ideas don't just need funding, they need guidance. That's where the American Technology Venture Lab comes in. We are a nonprofit dedicated to helping science and technology founders turn their dreams into scalable ventures. Our next generation, objectives-based mentoring program pairs you with passionate mentors who help you set clear goals and achieve them together. From strategic workshops to focused mentorship sprints, we provide the tools, network, and confidence you need to accelerate your vision. If you're ready to move from idea to execution to scale, join ATVL and build the future with us. Let's hear from some ATVL alumni.
You don't know what you don't know in terms of different business models. And the mentors were critical to being able to introduce me to members in their network to help better understand the risks were involved in that and how to adjust the business model definition. I don't know how else I would have been able to obtain that information.
When I originally found the ATVL program, I wasn't sure about it because I've gone through other accelerators before, CreateX, which is Georgia Tech's startup accelerator. Definitely did see that to be worthwhile. I've also gone through Tech Alpharetta, local to Alpharetta where I live, and that was less of a structured accelerator or incubator, but still was able to meet some great people, but not to the degree that ATVL has the structured mentor session and having the objectives that you're working with your mentors on. I think is a good kind of guiding light with the insight and experience of some of the mentors, and very fortunate that I was accepted in, and everyone here has been willing to work with me.
It's been life-changing for me, and I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. I feel like I've never been in a room with the right people as much as I have been with ATVL. And the mentors that are mentoring have a skill level that's unmatched, and it's a very diverse mentorship. I've had a phenomenal experience. I've learned words about funding that I've never even heard before. So I have expanded my vocabulary and knowledge and been able to do research. And I also have made some new lifelong connections. Tommy Holt mentored me even when he was not my mentor. And I'm not just talking about a 1-hour mentor meeting. I'm talking about pulling tables together, spending 4 hours on a workshop. So I couldn't be more pleased with my experience and friendships and new lifelong connections that I've made through ATVL.
And through ATVL, I just felt like I was surrounded by people that like genuinely wanted to see us succeed. And the people, the mentors have really done a great job keeping us focused. It's easy to get off track. And I know that even after graduating from ATVL, that I have a list of people that I'm going to be able to call for help. And I just feel like my network of people that help me is really growing. And it's been a great experience. And thank you guys so much.
The range of mentors, I think, makes it really effective when we do these speed dating pitch sessions with different mentors. You ask, there's a lawyer in the room, he starts asking the lawyer type questions, which we have not thought about, or a businessman or a technical person. So that's really been helpful to have a variety of mentors, venture capitalists, lawyers, business people, founders, startup people. It's really been helpful to have a whole range of personalities and backgrounds, experiences to share, because experience share is, I think it's the biggest value for us is that experience share with the mentors.
I retired from Clemson University as emeritus professor in July of 2022. And my entire life I've spent as an academic. And when you're doing research and you have collaborators, it's a lot about sharing. And when I started the company, I really didn't have access to any kind of network, particularly from a cultural perspective. I come from a science culture. I needed to enter a business culture. Getting involved gave me access to individuals, expertise, and most importantly, culture from a business perspective that I didn't have before. I think that that this is the model for South Carolina, and it really needs a lot more attention drawn to it in the business community so it can grow.
When I first came up with this idea, I had hired a couple of programmers and we were working, and I said, there's got to be somebody that can guide me through this process. I mean, I was a home builder, not a software developer. And I reached out to Charlotte, Charleston, Greenville, anywhere I could find, and there's some mentorship programs, but they were nothing at this caliber. Being here with the ATVL, I didn't know what I didn't know. And I was thinking, everybody saying, oh man, you need to launch this thing, you're ready to go. And then Sean stepped in and said, Doug, you're going to have a mess if you launch this. You got to get your data right. So I got connected with some more people that helped me put the pieces of the puzzle together. It's just great knowing that, and it's not just one or two people, you get a couple of mentors every couple of months, but it's the whole group that will chime in and say, oh, go talk to this person or go see this person. I feel confident that even though we're graduating, we can reach back and say, I got this problem, who can help me? So it's huge.
It's quite exciting to be graduating from the American Technology Venture Lab at Drobot. So the bot's able to navigate in a safe kind of way around people, which is very critical in a lot of environments. There's tons of benefit to have a robot as a service. So there's a lot of feedback in between the sessions with the mentors. And it's more than just specific things, like call it the moral support. It's very lonely to be a founder, and it's really hard to find people that seem to really genuinely care and a wish for us founders to be successful.
The mentors and their connections, and being able to introduce you to people that help bring critical insight, and our peer community who, let's face it, we're all kind of isolated at times. I think it's been a wonderful experience from an ATVL perspective to have those two communities come together and be able to help us grow.
ATVL was a turning point for me to regain confidence in my decision to relocate the business to Spartanburg, to be around, I say like-minded people, but not yes men for sure. You got to have negative feedback to grow, and has resulted in us, doing the remarkable things of, reinvigorating tech development to get the gross margins up, the marketing, the sales, the things that we are doing now. And being in this community has reinvigorated that confidence of why I got started to begin with.
The power of network, it's almost immeasurable. You think of the 20 people in that room on any given day in Spartanburg, and then the hundreds of people that each of them know. I feel like I was sitting on like the mothership of knowledge. Like I felt really honored to be there. And Paula gave us a nugget and we just ran with that. And we spent like half a day just running with that thread of, it was the consultative sales of how to approach these big customers. And that nugget alone was transformative, just from one conversation with one person in the network for 5 minutes.
When we first kind of had this idea a year ago, I thought this was going to be many years to even get to the point that we're at now. So the speed has really been a lot faster than what I was expecting, but that's because of all of the support and the help that we've had along the way. We couldn't have gotten this far without everyone here at ATVL.
It was easy for us to load up our funnel with lots of ideas. We could spend a lot of time chasing down opportunities all across a large map. But rather than do that, ATVL and some of the mentors suggested that, hey, let's focus in on one thing. Let's try to be successful with the first thing and then turn that into the second and the third. Or if the first one doesn't work out, then okay, you learn from those lessons and you move to the next. And I think that was exceptionally good advice for me.
We are all square pegs in a round hole universe. Even our families sometimes don't understand us and what we do and the things that drive us. And being in our peer community, which it's It's infectious from an energy perspective to be next to all of your peers. And these are people who understand us. And we ask a question, they're like, oh, I see exactly where you're coming from. Here's what I found out. And they're excited to be a part of that.
Founders of science and technology-based ventures are invited to apply to the American Technology Venture Lab. Contact us today.